Hey, thanks for stopping by. This is a piece I wrote years ago before I was thinking explicitly about midlife. I was thinking a lot about story, but not as much about what I'm working with now. But then I reread it recently and realized it already contains a lot of the questions that still matter to me about ego and growth and why we show up. It's a Little League essay. It's called Why We Coach. I answer the phone and hear a friend's voice. I immediately detect a hint of need, possibly even desperation. Does he need help with a move? Is it Amway? Eventually, he gets around to it. Yeah, well, listen, player evaluations are this weekend and the draft is Monday. I've got 7 coaches lined up. Ah, there it is. 7 coaches, 8 Little League teams. I think of last season, the hatred I experienced every time one of my players failed to get in front of a grounder, the homicidal thoughts when someone missed the cutoff. But for some reason, I hear myself saying, sure, I'm in. Why do I do it? Why do any of us? What keeps us coming back season after season to coach Little League? Reason number 1, the kids. Last season, I drafted an 11-year-old, let's call him Justin, with the last pick overall, 96th out of 96. In my notes from player evaluations, I had written next to his name, chess player? At our first practice, after witnessing his grenade launcher throwing motion, I tentatively approached him. So, Justin, have you played baseball before? Yeah, coach, don't you remember? I was at tryouts the other day. We gazed at each other in silence for a couple of seconds before I said, I like your dinosaur shirt. I walked away cursing my luck at ending up with the last overall draft pick, the one whose entire life of baseball consisted of the 6 minutes he spent on the field last weekend during evaluations. But almost immediately, Justin and I hit it off. During our first game, he ended the first inning by swinging at 3 straight pitches over his head. That's when I realized I'd neglected to explain that pitches are categorized into balls and strikes. My bad. Justin stood frozen in the batter's box, obviously unsure what to do as everyone ran off the field. He looked at me trotting toward him from the third base coach's box. As we retreated to the dugout together, I assured him we'd work on hitting. Then I gave him what I thought were clear instructions. The conversation went like this. Me, going out to right field. Justin, right. Me, just behind the second baseman. Justin, me, out there, stand in the grass, midway between Mark and the fence. Justin, smiling. Okay, coach, do I wear my helmet? Me, take off your helmet and go get your glove and cap. Justin, beginning to run, then pausing. Coach? Me, leave your bat in the dugout. Justin, smiling again. Got it. Moments like these typify both the frustration and the beauty of working with kids. Their innocent ignorance, so full of life, fills the whole interaction with meaning and, more often than not, humor. Although it would have been good for our team's record if Justin had decided he hated baseball and stopped coming to the games, the opposite occurred, and our whole team embraced him. His newfound love of the game endeared him to his teammates and me and helped us more easily endure witnessing grounder after grounder roll past him to the right field fence. I eventually learned to position him where he could actually touch the outfield wall. Then, when the ball was hit to the outfield, he could just wait for it to stop rolling, go pick it up, and launch it near the vicinity of the second baseman. Reason number 2, personal growth. Coaching is good for us spiritually. I don't mean in a religious sense. I'm talking about a personal growth, make you better because it shows you what an immature bastard you can be kind of thing. It helps us develop the ability to smile and say through gritted teeth, "Don't worry about it, Maya. Yes, I guess the take sign does kind of look like the bunt sign." Last season, one of my friends was ejected from a game he was coaching and told to vacate the premises. As he left the field, he called out the umpire in what has since become an infamous quote in our circle. "I'm going, but you're the one who's lost all credibility." A big reason for the quote's infamy is that as my friend shouted the words over his shoulder during his walk of shame past the other parents in the stands, he was pushing a baby stroller. Yes, after arguing the call at first base, he'd had to find his 2-year-old daughter playing behind the backstop, dust the sand off her diaper, then place her in the stroller, all while continuing to jaw with Blue. Everyone gawked as he proudly and defiantly marched that pram and his vaunted credibility right out of sight. I called him later that night and told him a couple of my own anger management tales. He talked about his humiliation and used the word ashamed several times. We laughed together and ended the conversation by discussing the point I'm highlighting here now. Coaching makes us better human beings, sometimes simply by reminding us how easily we can lose control and fail to be people we want our kids to look up to and admire. Reason number 3 of why we coach: ego. "Run faster, I'm living vicariously through you." Brad, the father of a player on my team last season, yelled this from the stands from time to time. Then he and the parents around him would crack up, everyone giving high fives. Once he even called out, "My self-worth depends on whether you hit the next pitch." Folks, that's what you call putting an issue on the table. I hate admitting it, but one big reason I coach my kids' teams is because I identify a little too intensely with whether they succeed or fail. I tell them it's just a game, and I try like hell to act like it is. But when my son properly executes a rundown, I soar inside. And when he strikes out looking at a fastball at his knees, my whole body slumps. I'm not saying my vicarious tendencies are commendable, only that they motivate me to coach. Don't tell me you don't know what I'm talking about. Reason number 4 of 5, by the way: intellectual enrichment. If neuroscience are right that the brain improves with use, then my IQ must go up a point or two every time I fill out a lineup. First, there's the issue of the Sudoku puzzle of playing 12 kids in a 4 to 6 inning game. Talk about permutations. You got to fill 9 positions each inning, with each kid getting at least one inning in the infield, and no one sitting out twice before everyone has sat once. But you can't sit your worst 3 players in the same inning, or they'll all be playing together in the remaining innings. And there's only one right field. Notice that all this plotting and planning takes place before the game even begins. Then, assuming no one gets sick or develops swimmer's ear, forcing you to redo your Sudoku on your steering wheel as you drive to the game, the first pitch is finally thrown. That means it's now time to call for and defend against bunts, steals, delayed steals, fake delayed steals, trick plays, and whatever else a bunch of elementary school kids can understand and pull off. Let your frontal lobe stew on all of that twice a week for 3 months and see if you don't feel ready for anything Alex Trebek could throw at you. Reason number 5 of 5. You know why you coach. Let's be honest. It's no piece of cake coaching your own kid. She thinks you don't pitch her enough, while her teammates and their parents think she pitches too much. And when on the day before school pictures she ends up with a black eye because you sent her home from third on a passed ball, you face serious retribution when the doors to the minivan close after the game. But again and again, when the commissioner of the league calls, you say, "Sure, I'm in. and so do I. The reason, the most obvious of all. We love our kids. Sorry to get sappy, but you already know that's what it comes down to. We want to be with them and share in their overthrowing, bunt sign missing, fly ball misreading lives. We coach because we delight in the fist pump and the yes that escapes their lips when we tell them we will manage their team. Because we relish the post-game conversation when they say through a snow cone purple smile, "Dad, that first and third play really worked." And because we love knowing that after any huge moment, whether walk-off glory or heart-ripping anguish, ours is the face that will greet them as they leave the field, and ours are the arms they'll either jump or collapse into. That's why we coach. Thanks, y'all.